So this is a very good option. It was developed by one of the world's most widely used editing companies, Enigo. So we're going to just walk through like how to do it and what's involved and why it's useful for teachers and also for students. There's also an increasing stable of AI-powered grammar checkers out there, so we'll just take a quick look at them. And I'm going to mention just a few possible uses in grading today, but that's what we're going to be talking about as part of the session on April 24th on using AI in grading. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. All right, so of course, grammar checkers are useful for students to be able to see what they're doing in terms of editing. But one of the complaints is that even the best of them, Grammarly, is really not great for academic English. At the same time, AI now offers really sophisticated academic online English editing. And the top company is Trinka AI. And if you get onto their website, Princeton, Harvard, everybody uses this. So it offers a really positive way of integrating this AI option into our classrooms. Right, so it's a freemium model. If you don't want to pay the cost, then you have 30,000 free words a month. So if you have about 25 students in your class, you can assess about 1,000 words or a little more for each of them a month. And you get the basic editing affordances. And if you pay the premium model, then you get unlimited words and unlimited access. And they're bringing out new options for things to do all the time. So quick overview, you can check a whole variety of things in the grammar options, many of which are not available in Grammarly. There are also a large number of elements of stylistics. This is the only AI grammar checker in the world that was developed specifically for science and technical writing. You can have a couple of ways of doing it. You can edit manually on your own computer, or you can edit online. So when you get into it, I'll show you that option in a moment. Okay, so it uses natural language processing, and it was trained on millions of scientific articles. And what they did was they took these areas of science and they understood, they used the AI to develop phrase banks, word banks, vocabulary from those specific fields. So if you want to, say you're the student and you might be in biology or chemistry or whatever, you can choose you can ask it to check your phrasing, your grammar, and your vocab for that field. You can also choose specific citation styles and ask it to check it. It doesn't always get everything for citation style, but it's pretty good. Right, so allows you to set your style guide and check against your choice. You can edit online as you go, or you can upload it. If you get the premium model, you can get a plugin. You can download it onto your Microsoft Word desktop. So this is good for students, and they can, it will show them edits as they go. The capacity to deal with PDF and LaTeX documents is coming. And if a student is in a particular field, if they're at a cutting edge, then they can develop their own scientific dictionary, technical dictionary. These are good things to point out to students, because even though they're not relevant to many of us in the writing department, it's very important to students who intend to go on. And so it gets them focused on this program that will check their grammar, and that's good for us. Okay, so it's got a variety of tools: proofreading, grammar, punctuation, spelling, sentences. It does offer a large number of other options for, as I said, to get students interested, to get them to invest in using this program. Some of the options, for example, the publication preparedness checks are available only to paid customers. Right, so this is a small area of the website where they compare Trinka to Grammarly. And you can see that it does a load of things that Grammarly doesn't do: academic style, subject area-based corrections, technical spelling, technical phrasing. It's pretty good with stylistics, and so on. So it's not 100% perfect, but it is better. If you get the premium version, then you have access to Authenticate, which is kind of the publishers or the grown-ups version of that one that we've got, Trinidad. Okay, So how you sign up, you just get on the main page. I'll walk you through this in a moment. You use your email to sign up or sign in, and then you just wait a moment for the start page. So on your dashboard, you can upload a file by a student if you want to check it, and you can edit it on screen. Or alternatively, you can download it with track changes. So all the same edits will be there, but it shows them in track changes. If you have a really big file, like 6,000 words, 7,000 words, the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see these little dots going back and forth, and it will say checking, and it will do this for 30 seconds, 1 minute, and then it will show on screen. All right, so it's going to give you, as I said, two options. You can edit manually. So this is where you open it up and you can walk through and click on every suggested edit. You can read about it. They provide a grammar explanation. They provide a stylistic explanation. And then you can edit and decide to choose or to accept or reject these suggestions manually. Now this one has a sting in the tail. It is, of course, very attractive to students. You can simply download it with all of the edits already done. The problem with that is that some of the edits will change the meaning, so some of them don't fit, and they will change the meaning of the text in ways that the student doesn't want. At the same time, that is a self-limiting option because the first time the student realizes that it's changed the meaning and they don't want that meaning, they will realize that they do need to at least read it through before they hand in. Right? So what you see on your dashboard, if you choose the edit manually option, you have a total number of alerts. All right, so this is in the grammar tab. And then it will list all of these down the right-hand side, similar to Grammarly. And then you can click on each and you can work through them. So there'll be an explanation and you can decide. All right, so for students, this is great. If you've just given them some specific input, then you can get them to use it for real-time editing in class to focus on those issues. They can also use it for editing in their own time. It's a very nice part of a peer review process. So simply upload the peer's paper, take a screenshot of the number of issues, and then send it to the person you're reviewing. Teachers can use it for a fairly objective view of the text in grammar, stylistics, and citation style. We get tired. We're not perfect. Native speakers and non-native speakers are not perfect in assessing grammar. There's buckets of research on that. So it gives us an objective view. From the point of view of the students, they tend to like the impartial outside point of view because they can see the errors and emotionally they're more likely to accept it. It saves us an enormous amount of time in grading. One of the things that I do is just prior to students handing in whatever their assignment is, I get them to do a Trinka screen grab and send it to me. And they're going, oh my God, 30 errors. And so they will change it before they send it to you. And that means that at least the worst of the problems have been fixed. So it's a very nice in-class review exercise also after you've graded and returned assignments, because some people just never seem to get around to checking their grammar. All right, Trinka uses a really nice set of walkthroughs. These are all of 2 minutes or under, and there's no talking. They have a few big titles on screen, but it's music, and it has a very easy pace with very, very easy to use. Now, there are a lot of AI-powered grammar checkers out there. Pro Writing Aid is really very good. Ginger's okay, Scriven's okay, Linux is okay. But one of the things that I do at the beginning of a class is have students review them and post a short review of them, because if they get used to this, if they find one they like, they're more likely to use it. And so also looking forward to our future lives, there are going to be better and better AI-powered grammar checkers. So it's really, really useful. It's a wonderful aid for non-native speakers. So we need to be building this into our classrooms. All right, what I'm going to do now is just walk you through this. Hi, Jeff. So one moment, let me take your screens. Okay, so it's a bit slow loading, but you should be able to see that. Can you see that on screen? Trinka Advanced Grammar Checker? I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Jeff said he's having AV problems. He mentioned
Oh, okay,
it in the
okay,
chat.
yeah. Okay, so you click on it, and because I already have an account, I can just, up here in the right-hand corner, I can just sign in, and it will give me my dashboard. I'll sign in with Google. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I'm going to upload a file from my device. Now, I've got options here, but I'm just going to click here and choose. Okay, so this is the screen that I showed you, and I can either edit manually, or I can try the auto file edit. I'm going to do this one first, and then I'm going to delete it out, do it again, and we're going to do this one. So if I choose edit manually, I'm going to get those little dots down here while it works on it. Oh, it's going to ask me, okay, so I've chosen American English, academic writing, style guide. I really don't care, it doesn't matter. Okay, save and proceed. All right, so it's checking and it's working through, and you can see that we have the number of alerts is counting up here. Okay, it's finished, and there are 64 alerts. And you can click on them and you can get, so here, businessman, bias-free language to avoid gender bias language, or mansion, a mansion. So this is a missing article, which is quite common. So there's, the nice thing is that there's a bit of an explanation. So you can go through and see how the paper functions, and the student can in real time take a look at these and choose which edits to accept and not accept. Now, let me show you what that paper looks like if you download it. Let me just get it up, the downloaded version. Ooh, we are slow today. My computer has not had enough coffee. All right, here we go. All right, so this is, oh, it's going to take a minute to show it to you. All right, so you should be able to see now. So here you can see that the edits have been already made. And then in cases where there are stylistic issues, they give you a note. So this student is fond of writing there is. And so you've got the say note, and that's a message to the students like, hey, this is a stylistic issue you've got here. The thing I absolutely like the best about the downloaded papers, so here they've gone through and edited the students' annotations and labeled image, is this. All right, so this is their table of grammar errors, and the student here can see, okay, so I've got a serious issue with articles. Enhancement is stylistic issues, punctuation issues, maybe a few singular plural issues, and so on. And this is the total. So this is a really nice thing if you're grading, just to send them that so you can just copy the table. From the point of view of the student, when they have got 2, 3, 4 of these, and maybe in every case, it's flagging up a load of problems with articles, then they know, you know what, I need to check my articles before I hand my work in. So this is a wonderful dimension of Trinka AI. Okay, so let me just quickly go back to, oh no, I've done that. Okay, so essentially, that's a quick walkthrough. That's how you do it. It's not difficult. It's very useful for in-class. Okay, so Jeff, I'm sorry you're having tech problems. Text if you have questions. Helen, did that make sense?
Very much. I mean, it looks like a sort of a grown-up Grammarly, really. That's
exactly technical and scientific writing Grammarly. Yeah.
So you know the issues I've been having. Would you expect this to flag as AI generated once it's been corrected? Because it seems to me like it's working at the unit level rather than at the whole text level. So I would guess not.
Yeah, I don't think it will. But knowing them, it's a group of Indian and Turkish engineers and linguists who've been working together to develop this. I don't doubt that they're working on an AI dimension of this. It hasn't been announced yet, and I keep up on their news, but I expect they will. I can write to them and ask if you like. But you know what they're like in India? They're just like, I mean, they're just computer bananas. They're such good programmers. They're so bloody brilliant. Um, so Jeff, cost, yes. It's a freemium model, so you have 30,000 words free per month if you don't pay, and that gives you the grammar editing options, but none of the other none of the citation or publication so on. If you pay the annual fee, which I've done, it works out to about $6.70 a month.
So again, that's relatively comparable with Grammarly. I mean,
exactly.
It's not.
Exactly. Yeah. But the ability to send that table to students is great because this says, hello, I'm not making this up. You've got this issue. And it generates it, in no time flat. And that saves us so much time. So when we have our next meeting, our next chatbot meeting, I'm going to be talking about using AI in grading. I think emotionally we view grading as our badge of honor, that we know this stuff and this is our chance to, demonstrate it. But we are so overworked. So I think there are things that we can do that are really defensible, that will save us time and heartache and I don't know, health and all the rest of it.
What kinds of things does it get wrong? So Grammarly is quite predictable in the errors that it makes.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say the boundary between stylistics and grammar, it will occasionally flag something that is incorrect in a complex sentence. So singular, plural in a complex sentence with multiple clauses. But it's pretty good.
It's just useful to know which things to tell the students to watch out for, because once they've caught it make a few mistakes, they tend to be a bit more cautious about just until they see them make mistakes, they don't believe that they're going to make mistakes. They always think it'll be perfect until they catch it. So
right. They're very responsive. If you wrote to them and said, this is what I'm using it for, I teach writing, they will probably write back and they can give you that category, those categories. They have a white paper on their website. I read it some months ago. I haven't read it in many months, but it goes through their testing, and they share the data from their testing, so you can download their white paper. It may be in there, but they're constantly upgrading it. So write to them, and they can probably share that with you, and you can share their email with the students.
I wonder if I can incorporate that into one of my papers that I have them read in my scientific writing course. Maybe I can make them read the paper on it. It might make them.
There's very little written on it in Google yet, so you can find material on other things. For example, Grammarly, there's a load of Google articles, but not yet on Trinka. Trinka is maybe a year old. Jeff, do you have any questions? Hope you can hear us. Oh. Okay. Hang on. Okay.
Hang on.
Trinka is named after the founder of the company. She's amazingly good. So I mean, just write her. She's in India. Just write to her, and I expect you'll get answers to your questions. They are very, very keen to have people like us engage with this. Do students really use it? I'm seeing them write in no time until they ignore Google Docs. Yes, and Google Docs suggestions are a place to start. Yes, they do. One of the things, for example, I was mentioning to Helen, yes, they do ignore it. I was mentioning to Helen before we started. One of the things you can do is quantify errors and put this into your syllabus. So this is what I've done in 135. And no student, I've got 100 and some students in there, no student has questioned me on it. And they're fourth, fifth, and sixth students and very, very likely to question stuff. But what I've done is something that I learned to do in Cambodia. So we did it there just before I left. Define A, B, C, D in terms of number of errors. So A, 1 to 9. B, I think we did 10 to 30. C, 31 to 40. And D, 41 and up. And I mean, if you're getting 41 and up, that really is a lot of errors. When you point this out to them, when you show them how easy it is to get that number issues, get that screen grab, and then you make them do it before they hand it in. So what I do is just before they hand it in, I make them upload their document and get the screen grab. And they're going, oh my God, 30 issues, and then they go get in there and they change it. So that incentivizes them to care. You're right, they don't care a lot. A lot of them, they're very busy. But if you build it into the grading rubric, then they do. Does that help? Okay, great. I mean, that's one option. That's what I.
Sorry. Does the paid version and the free version, will it always come out the same errors?
Yes, it does the same errors. The paid version allows you to build your own dictionary. Jeff, yes, I do. So I give them a short version of this in class. But they are. I know there's a lot of problems with the terms digital native and digital immigrant, but it is really user friendly. So I mean, I 20 minutes maximum is about how much time between opening it up and having them send me their screen grab. So that was what I did with students this semester. And that allows them time to talk to each other and explain and compare and all the rest of it. It's very user friendly. You upload and it takes seconds to show you your errors. So much of that time is simply signing in, putting in your email and creating a password and all the rest of that.
You posted some videos. You had some links to Trinka's own videos.
Yes, I can send this PowerPoint to you afterwards.
Oh, if you could, yeah. Because I teach remotely, I actually don't have very much FaceTime with them.
Right.
But I can easily build in a half-hour tutorial into one of my early classes, and
right.
I can make the videos myself. But if they've already got them, then
yeah, no, they're really good at UX design. They have really thought about the fact that many of the users are like they're science geeks. This is made for people who are engineers and so on. They don't want to sit there and talk about prepositions or pronouns. And so they've done really nicely on that dimension of it.
This is quite exciting.
It's really a very convenient program. Pro Writing Aid is the second best. So that on the screen that I've got where I list other AI-powered grammar checkers, Pro Writing is the second best. So, if you can get them to use one of those, this is at least at the moment. It'll all be different a year from now, but at the moment.
And is Pro Writing price-wise similar, or is it very different?
I don't know. It doesn't have anything like. It doesn't have anything like the opportunities, the affordances that Trinka has. It's more similar to Grammarly, where you basically paste your text into the box.
And one of the things I like about this is, instead of saying to the students, you can't use any of this software to improve your writing, if I can direct them to what they can use, I just feel like I've got a better chance of heading this off.
Yes, yes, yes. I use it routinely before they hand in, and I use it for peer review, and it just gets the message across. People this takes time. People aren't really aware of how much time is involved in writing well, and they're not. Students are not expecting how much time and effort this is, going over and over and over it. They're horrified when they find this out.